Guys, so creatives don't necessarily mean they are a painter or a photographer. I think being a creative is a mindset and a lifestyle, and it can carry over into any industry or aspect of life. That's why today we're joined by Benji, aka Rauman, aka Wiiman. Hi. And in this episode, we're going to talk about Benji's passion for customizing, modding cars, where this passion came from, a day in the life of Benji, the Perth car community, the meaning of clapped stories, and more. Welcome, Benji.
Hello.
So, first question is, how did you get the nickname Wiiman? Where did that come from?
Oh God. After I first got the car, I had a modded Wii for a while, and I just wanted to do dumb shit to my car.
Yeah.
Just in complete honesty, I didn't want to do anything.
Was this like the first mod that you did to your car?
This was the second mod. The first mod I did was I got Galaxy Interior on the door cards.
Is this for the Magna?
This is the Magna. Yeah, I didn't have the Lancer until about October of last year.
Oh, okay. So this is like early Benji mod customization.
Just
days.
got my car.
Oh, okay.
Like just got it.
And you've only modded like one thing before?
No, I was never into cars before I got my Magna.
Oh, really?
Yeah, shut up. I was never into cars.
Were you into like anything like similar to modifying things? Like maybe you were electronics or...
Yeah. So I've always had a fascination with just doing dumb shit to stuff, honestly. I used to have this little ride-on go-kart that used to be a ride-on lawnmower.
Oh, yeah?
We fucking made it a ride-on go-kart. Oh, it was killer.
So you turned a lawnmower into like a go-kart thing?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't have it anymore. It's an old like 90s ride-on lawnmower. I don't know where it is. Probably in the scrapyard. But yeah, I was never into cars until I got my car. I only realistically actually got my car because I needed a better way of getting to TAFE.
Yeah.
Because the way I used to get to TAFE was via my moped.
Yeah.
And
what were you studying at TAFE?
I was doing cybersecurity and networking.
Oh, yeah.
Really fun courses, but Christ, they just can sometimes take a bit out of you. But they're fun courses. They're really fun because I've always been an IT guy. I was never a car guy.
Yeah.
Like for the longest time that I can remember, I've been into IT.
Yeah.
And if you go through my Instagram, on the very, very bottom, what's left of my sort of IT posts, there's one of me outside of Linus Tech Tips and when I went to Canada for a month. There's a few other posts. But yeah,
so like what sort of were you modding, like computer stuff before cars? So you, like because you've got that mod mentality, so I guess maybe that originated from like modding computers or...
Yeah, I was really into building computers.
Yeah.
Really into building computers and anything mechanical I get my hands on, I just wanted to just fucking tear it apart.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to figure out how it worked.
Yeah.
And then that sort of led into me modifying my first car. Cool. My parents didn't like it, but I doubt anyone's parents would like them modifying their car.
And did you have to look at tutorials, or you just like took it apart, or you kind of have a knack for how like things work, or?
Well, considering I've never been into cars, I had a very minimal knowledge on how to actually work on them. So I did watch a bunch of tutorials on how to actually work on my specific car. Luckily, the Mitsubishi Magna is a very popular car. There was millions made in South Australia. So thank God there's tutorials and shit on how to take it apart. But generally, I just sort of just tried to figure out how stuff worked. I mean...
So like trial and error,
basically. Primarily, genuinely trial and error.
My car's not working.
I bought the car technically broken.
Yeah.
It didn't run properly. Transmission was buggered. I learned that out the hard way, that it was a fuck transmission.
There's a story.
There is a story.
That's coming up, guys.
There is a story. Yes. But yeah, I bought it broken for $2,000, down from like $2,500-3,000. But it was a first car.
Yeah.
Like it's a shitbox.
Yeah.
Like everyone's first car in my personal opinion, I feel like it should be a shitbox.
Yep.
Because if you're going to own a car, you should at least know how to work on it.
Yeah, it's kind of like
yeah.
everyone buys like that cheap car that doesn't work, and that's sort of like how you learn what has to happen to your car. It happened to me. Like I had a Subaru wagon that was like,
oh hell yeah,
like the radiator would overheat and shit. And I was like, oh,
Sounds like
coolant is a thing.
Sounds like a Subaru.
Yeah. So that's kind of how you learn.
Oh hell yeah. But yeah, I just kept doing anything that came to mind. I mean, I did the door cards.
Yeah, take us through like everything.
Yeah.
that you've done to it.
All right. So, first off, got the car, fixed it. I won't go into detail about how I fixed it because it's fucking boring.
Yeah.
But did the door cards and then I did the roof. Actually, that's right.
So that's the Galaxy lights.
That's the Galaxy. Yeah, you've been in the car, haven't you?
I have. I haven't seen the lights though.
Not the. So there's the LED lights along the sides, but then there's the actual Galaxy roof part.
Yeah,
which is just some Spotlight fabric.
I
just got it from Spotlight for like $10. But then I was like, okay, I have a Wii. I can probably get a TV off of Marketplace for like $50.
Yep.
So I was like around that time like frequently shopping at JCar, because I was wanting to do like electrical mods to the car. So I rocked up, grabbed a small inverter, grabbed a bunch of 8-gauge cable, and started just install that. Actually, you can probably pull it up on there.
Yeah.
There's actually a ton of photos of what it used to look like. You might need to scroll a bit far down. I won't lie to you. It might take
how
a bit.
far down?
Oh, just honestly, just keep going.
You're quite the poster.
Oh, I have.
You'd be on that content grind,
dude. Yeah, I've only been in the car scene for like a year and a half, and I already have like 500 some posts. It is insane, dude.
Keep going.
Yeah, honestly, just keep going.
All right,
you'll eventually see it. Yeah, little bit further.
Do you post on the daily?
I used to, honestly. I used to post way too much.
So this is we're finding the lights, or
yeah, here we go. Yeah, could you go on a little bit more? Because there's like photos of when I first actually did anything. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so this is a perfect timeline.
So this is when you first.
That's when I first got the car.
Oh, it looks so new and
yeah,
nice.
it looks not fucked up.
Yeah, looks like slick.
Yeah, that actually worked. But
then
post, yeah. So
this
that was the
okay.
first mod I ever did to the car.
Oops.
Oh.
Instagram, like
yeah,
we can just do that.
Instagram
Oops.
moment.
So that's what you mean by Galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was just fabric and you
literally just fabric and
you
like
stick it on
adhesive. Some Gorilla like
I just
adhesive
glued it on
spray
there?
from Spotlight. Yeah.
Did you have to take apart the door to do it?
Yeah, I had to take the whole plastic part off, which arguably wasn't very hard, but I had to take off that specific part, which I think was like 4 to 5 screws. It wasn't too hard, but it was the first mod I ever did, and I was very proud of myself when I did it because I'm like, oh shit, this is actually fun to work on cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, the post just after that is the one where I'm installing it, or I'm installing the Wii into the car.
Which one is it up here? Oh, this.
Yeah, that's when I bought everything. That was the day I was like, okay, I want to chuck an amp and a Wii into the car.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's
you
figure out.
You had an amp in there as well.
Yeah.
So like with these wires and stuff, because like if I was to get all this up, people are like, what do these do? Like, how did you actually know what each of these wires was for? And
okay,
from experience, or you googling it, or
not really any prior experience. Everything I know about that type of stuff I've learned in a very short period of time. Primarily, I would say it's research, YouTube, and just figuring it out.
And you just like jump into it. You're not like
I've caused a fire.
Oh, okay.
I've caused a fire in the Magna before because of this. You learn shit the hard way.
Yeah.
You learn it the hard way.
And then we'll get a view on that for the streamers. And then
where is
what's
it?
This?
Yeah, there it is. There we go. So that's when I installed the amp And I was like, all right, well, I already have, power cables running to the back. Why don't I chuck an inverter on a TV? So
True.
if you go to the...
Oh, so this is the inverter.
No, that's the amp.
Oh, that's the amp.
So that's when I installed the amp.
Oh, okay, and that's so you can have the right voltage.
So that's actually to run the speakers.
Okay.
So basically, from my head unit, there's some RCA cables that just put out a signal. So that signal goes to the amplifier. Then the amplifier quite literally amplifies the signal to the speakers. There we go. Yeah. So that's when I ran installing
a TV.
Yeah. So that's the inverter top right with the power cable coming out of it.
Sick. And that's the mount for the TV.
Still have that exact mount. Yeah.
Cool.
And to the right is I think I just zip tied the Wii in. Yeah. Fucking there we go.
Oh, there's the Wii. So this is like the first installation.
That is the first installation. Yeah. And then I started taking up the car mates, and that was before I got a TV.
And then what was the first sort of response when you started bringing that out?
Oh my god! Okay, so first day or first night ever taking out the Wii. We were at Crown Perth, PA, and in between Crown Perth, PA, and Optus Stadium parking lot, and my mate, his Enigma 86. His name's Dylan. He was like, okay, Ben, I want you to leave your boot open with the TV on and give me the Wiimote, and I want to see if I can do Wii bowling or tennis from his car. So he would trail behind me, right? And try and play Wii. Yeah. So as we were driving quite slowly, I braked a bit too hard because I was waiting for him to catch up.
Yeah.
So he could actually be right behind me. And the boot lid bounced and just crushed the TV. Or it's a really cheap TV off Marketplace. It just
So you had to get a new TV?
The latch went straight into the TV and right in the middle. Oh, it's hilarious.
Did you have to get a new TV? Or?
Yeah, I think I got a new TV. Completely destroyed it.
And then as you started bringing it out, more and more, you let sort of other people at the meetups play it?
I wanted to sort of see how people would react to something like this, because I at that point in time, I'd never seen anything done apart from on what's the TV show called? Pimp My Ride, stuff like that. I haven't really seen anything like that before. But so taking it out, letting people have a go, pulling the boot up and playing Wii with my friends to get people to sort of come around and have a look and be like, oh shit, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then I started getting recognized as Wiiman.
Yep. You're the guy with the Wii in the back of his boot. So
spot on. Yeah. And quite hilariously, so I used to go clubbing a lot.
Yeah.
And I'd get recognized.
Oh, at clubbing?
At clubs, yeah.
People just say Wiiman.
That isn't an egotistical thing. It's just I was absolutely munted, and someone would come up to me and say, hey, oh my God, you're Wiiman. I'm like, hello, who are you?
Yeah.
did I meet you with a car mate? He's like, yeah, meet with a car mate. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, because I was out vlogging that night, and then I was like,
that's how we met.
I think I'd gone on a couple cruises before and just seen people playing the Wii, but I was like, oh man, I got to get you in the vlog. Yeah. So then I found you. We just played some Wii.
Oh yeah.
And then I made a TikTok about it.
It was so much fun.
And TikTok did pretty well, so it was pretty sick.
People kept sending me that video, your video. Yeah. People kept sending me that bloody video. It's yes, I know it's me. Thank you.
Yeah.
They were like, oh my God, I found you on TikTok. I'm like, cool.
So it's just my notes here. So I think creativity can have a positive impact on community. For example, when I do photo shoots, I get different people involved in my projects, and they kind of feel a part of something and feel inspired to do their own sort of thing. Do you think this is the same with your stuff as well?
Me inspiring people?
Or your creativity, getting people involved. Is that?
Oh yeah. Well, I have had people say to me that seeing the really dumb stuff I've done to my car has made them feel more comfortable to do stuff to their car.
Yeah.
There are tons of people who are very gatekeepy with a lot of different types of things, especially in the car scene here. But I just, whatever came to mind, I just did. I mean, I wrapped the car in Japanese manga.
Oh, you did? I didn't. Was it the Magna?
Yeah, no, that was my Magna. Yeah,
I haven't seen. I don't think I saw it.
You haven't seen it? It's it's on my Instagram. I posted a bunch of photos if you want to pull it up. But yeah, I just whatever came to mind, I would just do it. I did not care about judgment in the slightest.
Yeah,
whatever came to mind, I just did it. It should be a little bit above that.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
That's so sick. Wow, that looks mad.
There's actually a pretty good photo. I changed the letters around on the back of the car so that rather than Magna, it read manga.
Oh yeah, man, that's so sick.
Thank you. Yeah, me and my friend Enzo, Green Integra. I miss you. I haven't seen him in ages, but he came to me with the idea. He's like, "Hey, do you want to do something quite sex spec?" I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah." He's like, "Do you want to wrap the car?" I'm like, okay. So then we went out and bought some Japanese manga.
And you wrapped it yourself?
So myself and Enzo, we went to his detailing workshop, and we did the boot. So him and I just did the boot.
You can shout out the detailing workshop if it's...
Oh, Christ, he's changed it now.
Or you can just plug his Instagram.
Yeah, honestly, I'd say Enzo. I mean, it was Green Integra, but I think he's changed it. I'm pretty certain he sold the car. But yeah, honestly, just look up Enzo. I'm pretty certain it'll come up if you look up Enzo, ENZO.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we went to his detailing workshop and we did the boot. And after that, I was like, wow, I really like this. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
There's actually a photo of when we just did the boot. Should be near it. I think it should be down a bit. Oh yeah, no, up there. There's a really crap video.
This one?
Just above that in the middle.
Oh, this.
Wait, no, hold on. I'm blind. Just above that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So that one in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a video. Okay.
It's a really crap video I did of when we wrapped the boot. It's a bit loud.
Sorry, guys. We'll put it on mute.
Yeah.
How do you sound? Oh, for some reason, I think it's this.
Oh, really?
Anyway. There we go.
Yeah, so that's when we wrap the boot. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, sick.
Look at that. So the boot was My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, okay, I love this. This looks sick. This looks so cool. So then him and I went out. I think like 8 p.m., 8 at night, and I like hit up this chick on Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, hey, we'll buy all your, I think it was Vampire Diaries. I was like, I'll buy all 6 books for whatever price. I think she said like $50. I'm like, yeah, cool, down. Yeah, I'll buy them. So we went out, grabbed them, went back to his workshop, did more. Then after that, I went home, and for the next like 2 weeks, just periodically, just started wrapping the car more. And I bought clear coat paint.
Yeah.
And was going over it to hopefully let it dry. The only issue is that during those few weeks was the most rainiest days I have seen in a very long time. So the car never dried.
Oh, no.
There was no sun. Well, in there was sun, which is why I had it outside. But it was just so cold and just depressing. So never dried.
And what are some like the coolest, like at a car meet,
yeah,
what kind of impresses you? Because for some people it's the most expensive cars. Some people it's like the most vintage. But what like impresses you?
To me, I can appreciate expensive, rare cars, but realistically, I love anything that someone's put their heart and soul into.
Yeah.
Something that's genuinely had effort.
Yeah.
Not from the manufacturer, but from an individual or multiple people.
Like it has their style in it.
Exactly. Yeah. This is one guy I follow on Instagram. His name's Roscoe's Modified Garage. I love him. He has a Mirage and it's just sex spec'd out. It's just pure Pimp My Ride-esque. I love it. Sadly, he's in New South Wales, but
because that's the same with like say good photography or good design or good style. It's when someone's put their personality
Oh,
into it.
100%, yeah.
So so yeah, like if I see like a very expensive car, I'm like, oh, that's cool. But then also when I see like a car that has like heaps of style, like they've got like customizations that kind of fit the person, you can kind of tell. Then that also impresses me personally.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
There's another guy. His Instagram handle is Common Honda, Gabriel. His Honda Civic is wrapped in this anime, and I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's so.
I like the anime wraps actually.
hell
When
yeah.
I see them, I'm just like, sick.
I love anything that's wrapped in anime. It's just so goofy.
Yeah,
Like I can't tell if it's ironic or not, but I just love it either way.
yeah. No, there's something about just seeing random creative cars when I'm driving that
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
brightens up my day.
And oh, dude. So I've been catching the bus quite a lot, and I keep seeing goddamn Lancers with just the most clapped out modifications. I was taking the bus from our old house, and it was this big multicolored Lancer with a huge Lego head on it. Just I'm like, the fuck was that? What the hell was that?
A Lego head, that's crazy.
I couldn't take a photo because it zoomed past me. But I was like, what's wrong with Lancer drivers? Can't say much.
But you used the word clapped.
Yes, I
Can you
did.
explain clapped to those who don't know?
So clapped, or
Is it like a car community term, or how
that's
did
a
you?
good point.
When did you start using it, or like where did you get it from?
Well, quite coincidentally, I've been using that term clapped ever since I joined the car scene back in 2021 or early 2021. I don't know where I heard it from. No idea. But in my personal opinion, I think clapped just means, well, something that's just a bit outlandish.
Yeah.
Like a bit weird.
Yeah.
A bit different.
Yeah.
Like, but good, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
weird, different, but good.
Just like stupid but
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
like
yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
I've
hell
seen
yeah.
It's like funny.
Yeah.
Like those just crazy mods that you see.
I guess it's like a word that you can like synonymously use to just. It's gonna be really strange comparison. You know how in the Smurfs, how they use the term Smurf or Smurfed like synonymously with like a bunch of different words.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I think clapped is used.
Oh, okay. Okay. You just use it all the time, just for everything.
Yeah, like
Like it can mean good, bad, just like
yeah,
that's clapped.
It's sort of like from Rick and Morty. Like
Yeah.
there's one character called Squanchy, and he says like he replaces words with the word squanch, and you sort of kind of know what he means.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel clapped is kind of used personally.
And I want to kind of get into the laws surrounding car modifications, because
Sure. Yeah.
I think in an ideal world, like you want to see people being able to customize their car sort of as much as possible. Like I love seeing creativity
Oh yeah.
just all around me, whether it's in like in architecture or fashion or maybe like just public art or whatever. But I also love seeing it in cars. But I feel like in Australia in general, you are quite restricted, say, compared to Japan and possibly America with the things you can do.
100%.
So like what?
Yeah.
What are the restrictions and like how do you feel about them?
Well, the one major one is bold tires, but that's kind of sort of
What's that?
like there's no tread on your tires. But I guess that's not really a modification. That's just like the most common thing that you're going to get called out for.
Yeah, I do know you can't lower your car lower than a Coke can or something like that.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. You can't lower your car beyond a certain point from stock, but realistically, all the modifications that you do to your car, unless a cop's having a bad day, they're not really going to care.
Yeah.
So, for example, in my Magna, it comes with an airbag in the driver's seat, and I've replaced that airbag with a quick release non-airbag steering wheel. And I've had cops look over my car and even the lights on the front. But every time they've looked over my car, the only thing they've cared about is if my tires are bald. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably like maybe cops that don't have much experience or don't really know much about cars, they probably wouldn't be able to pick it up. They don't know what a tire is. So
To be fair, these cops I had played Wii with, so I think they just sort of
okay.
just didn't care.
Oh yeah, I saw that video as well.
Yeah.
You had some cops play the Wii in the back of your car.
Recognize me and then come and play Wii.
Oh really?
Because I'd go to Crown Perth P8 quite a lot.
Yeah.
Bit of a sidetrack, but yeah. I love it.
Tell us about that.
Oh, dude, I can't believe it. They like, because I watched them drive past P8 and I'm like, fuck. Then they turn around. I'm like, oh no. Then they pull up next to me. I'm like, oh no, what have I done? And no, they just wanted to say hi, and they were like, oh hey, you're the guy with the Wii. I'm like, yeah, I am. And then they stop and play Wii with us. Same as the Crown Perth security guards. This is one really big Kiwi guy who sex there, and he every time he sees me, he comes over. He's like, oh yeah, hey Wiiman.
Oh, that's so cool. And
in terms of mods,
getting
a bit sidetracked. But personally, I don't really know too much about the modifications of vehicles. But you're making sure that the stream's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I got a message saying, hey, is the stream working? I'm like, I'm not going to respond. But in terms of modifications, I don't really necessarily know too much. I'm replacing your airbag with nothing is definitely
I'm just
illegal.
like comparing it to Japan. Like Japan, you just see the car scene is just so much cool. It's probably the coolest in the world.
Yeah.
Like the types of cars, the modifications. Like
I arguably don't know too much about the Japanese car scene, but as an outsider looking in, the car scene looks immaculate.
And that's like one of the things that draws so many people to Japan is the creativity of the cars.
Oh yeah.
And like sometimes I think by Australia, like limiting, it's like just in Australia in general, like you see a lot of limitations on creativity just in general in terms like I don't know, this is a bit off topic, but if you look at the architecture here, it's just like stock standard. If you look at the bridges we build, it's just like boring stock standard bridges. Just like I want to see more creativity in this city. Boring. And then again with the cars, you have obviously you got to have some limits for like safety and everything, but just like I don't like how there's so much suppression on creative expression.
Yeah,
with a lot of things, and that's cars come into that as well.
End of the day, I'm pretty certain, or from my personal experience and friends of mine's experiences, it depends on the day the cop's having.
Yeah.
Like if they're a really cranky cop that's having a bad day, they're going to probably yellow sticker you if you have modifications, which is really shit because my car, straight up, I'd say is yellow stickerable. But
what does yellow sticker mean?
So yellow sticker, basically what that means is there's a defect with your car that doesn't make it road safe.
Yeah.
Meaning you have to basically go to the pits or someone qualified to do such a thing and get those changes fixed or do those fixes yourself. Like, for example, if your tires are bowled, you can get yellow stickered for that, meaning that I've never personally been yellow stickered, so I don't know the exact laws for it, but I'll just use an example. Getting a yellow sticker, like 2 weeks, you have to then fix that problem on your car before you can no longer drive the car on the road.
Yeah.
There's also a red sticker, if you've heard of that.
No.
So red sticker is basically immediately you need to take the car off the road.
Yeah.
Like straight away, you need to take the car off the road.
You need to drive it home, sort of thing.
Most of the time, I don't think you can drive it home if you get red stickered.
Oh, okay.
I think it needs to be towed.
Jeez.
Yeah, from what I know anyway.
And like, what's your opinion on like the Perth car community? Suppose you can compare it to other car communities if you can, but there's some stigma around, there's stigma around car communities in general. But like the everyday public, the media does portray the car community in a light, like portrays everybody as hoons. But like, what's your kind of take on it?
Well, obviously, news channels are going to blow up everything. That's what they normally do. How would they get views if something wasn't interesting? But in terms of the car scene here in Perth, I actually met the people who run Night Runners at TAFE. I met it was Jordan Mendez, Sam Cole, Cameron. I met them in TAFE or through TAFE, and from there on is how I got into the car community, and meaning that they were my first impression in the car community. And they started inviting me out. I went to my first car meet, which was theirs, and I loved it. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I made tons of friends. I met way too many people. Keep in mind that prior to this, I was a bit of a shut-in.
Yeah.
Hated going outside. Hated talking to people outside of my own little Discord server. But sort of going to car meets brought me out of my shell.
Yeah.
And I will forever love car meets because of that.
Yeah, 100%. Because like, even when I sort of got interested in taking photos of cars, like, I went out and like, just at the bubble tea spot in Myrie, which is near where I live, and you just see so many different types of cars, so many like different people like gather and like talk to each other, meet each other. It's like a meet, hang out on a Monday, grab some bubble tea and just like hang out, and
it's just a meet up.
I found it like really welcoming, and just everyone was down to just like chat, talk about their cars, like let me take photos of their cars. Like I got to set up different photo shoots, and just met so many people. So that was like a super positive thing.
Bubble tea's amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously there's sort of when the cops and shit crack down on bubble tea. I sadly have not been in a while to bubble tea, but I've been seeing on my friends' stories that bubble tea is actually still pretty active.
Yeah.
I used to go there almost every single Monday, and that was my sort of social fix. Yeah. I get to talk to all of my friends. I get to see some shitbox cars.
Yeah.
I just get to have a fun time, and I get dinner. Like it's bubble tea, in my personal opinion, is probably the best meat spot. I don't think any other place will ever top it.
Yeah.
Like there's Mill Point.
Yeah, there's just like a lot of parking bays and like
it's
bubble
massive,
tea places and food.
Yeah.
And it's good for the community and good for businesses as well.
100%. Yeah. Like I loved when I first came into the car scene, and just I met being previously a shut-in little introvert. I met so many people for the next few months that I hate to say it, forgot most of those people. Yeah. Well, forgot their faces, because I would meet so many people that I just couldn't process and remember all this. It was just like an overload of information.
Yeah.
And because of the whole we in the car sort of thing, and
you would have met so many people doing that. Like everyone would like me, like try and find you and play on the Wii.
Yeah, legit. It was crazy, the fact of how many people would come up to me and say, "Oh, you're the guy with the Wii." I'm like, "Yeah, hi, how you going?" And then I have a conversation, and like I hate to say it, but I'd need to see them multiple times to be able to actually remember them.
Yeah, no, if you're meeting that many people, then it's hard to...
Like, as an example, there's one person named Jake Vincent that I actually saw multiple times out at car meets, but I could never remember him.
Mm.
And then one day I was like, oh, he exists. And then we lived together for a bit.
Oh, yeah. So you really got to like meet lots and lots of people through
way too many people.
Car community, and especially when you like customize your car in a certain way. It's like it's more of a talking. It's more of a talking subject, and then when people can interact with your modifications, your like creative modifications as well. It's it brings even more people in to talk to you and hang out.
Yeah, exactly. Like people would say, "Oh, well, stock Magnus." Like they would be like, "Hey, what have you done to your car?" And I'd be like, "Oh, come here." I'd pop up in the boot. They'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, that's sort of how I made friends and sort of became a bit well known, which I love. I'm not too good with social media in terms of trying to get popular on TikTok and stuff like that. Like I try, but I am not good at social media in the slightest.
I mean, you just post photos basically.
I mean, there's a reason why my Instagram name is Rauman and not Wiiman. It's because it's not a car account. It's my personal account.
Yeah.
Because I was never in the car scene until 2021, early 2021. Like I was a big IT guy. I mean, I still am. But yeah, it's still my personal page. It's not a car account.
And in terms of the Magna, because it had some problems, and then I saw on your Instagram stories you went out to like whoop to pick up something, and your friend like towed half a car body or something. But
honestly, pull it up.
All right, we'll pull it up here.
So I'll talk as you pull it up. So
at the top or
oh no, it's not on my account. Honestly, go to Old Mate Steve or look up the Instagram account.
What about your TikTok?
No, it's not. It's not on my TikTok. It's actually only on Old Mate Steve's account. It's just old dot. While you look it up, Instagram for desktop is not very fun.
Well, maybe you could just tell the story anyway.
The photos and videos make it really fun.
Okay, I'll try to find it, but
the photos
maybe start telling it and I'll find it.
Go to my account. Go to actually no, try and look up Old Mate Steve's account. It's hilarious.
Wow, this Instagram sucks.
Yeah,
but is it on a highlight or?
Yeah, it's on a highlight. Yeah. So, basically, I was. Well, as I said previously,
do you have his account name? Because I'll just put it in.
Yeah, it's old.mate.steve. But yeah, as I said prior, when I bought the car, yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So on the highlights, it's one in the middle called Magna Recovery. Dude, this shit's funny. I fucking love this so much. So yeah, that's the yep. So that there is the Magna that we put. Yeah, there I am. That was the Magna that Steve towed out from the Pines up in Wangara.
Oh, so how did you find this?
Funny story. Steve put it there.
Oh really?
Yes. Yeah. Steve put it there. Don't worry, Australian government. It is in a scrapyard.
Yeah. It was all legal.
It's all legal. It's in a scrapyard.
But yeah, and then how did you? And what did you need from it? Like, why did you want to go out and get it?
So, going up to Joondalup to go grab my meds from this one specific pharmacy because all my scripts were there. On the way there, there was a bit of squeaking noise from the transmission. I'm like, oh god, what's this? And as I get off the off ramp, it's about like a 50-minute drive from Applecross. Got off the highway, got to the lights. I went to go launch, nothing happened. I'm like, oh, like the car's just revving. I'm like, I'm not in neutral, am I? I'm like, oh, I'm not neutral. I try to put it in reverse, nothing.
Yeah,
nothing happens. I'm like, what the hell? So then we push it up the road onto the dirt, and we grab my mate Carlin. He's a Project FTO, love him to death. He lives quite close, so he came over and picked me up. So we could actually and we call a tow truck. And at this point in time, parents had just moved. I lived with my parents at the time. Parents just moved to Lower Chittering, outside of my towing radius.
Yeah.
So we got the car towed to Carlin's because it was quite close, and we had it out the front, and sat out the front of his house for about a week or so, and then I was like, fuck, I need to like get around. I need to get to work. I need to go home. Like I can't just like stay at Carlin's. So I went on Facebook Marketplace. I found the Lancer, and I bought the Lancer. The guy drove it to Carlin's house, and then had a little test drive. And I was like, I love it. I love this car. $800. Right to him. Got the car.
Yeah.
And then...
What about the Magna?
Yeah, so a few weeks after that, Steve came up to me and said, "Hey Benji, there's a Magna out in the Pines, and I'm pretty certain it's the same model as yours. Do you want to go get it?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, the transmission from the Magna. Do you want to go get it?" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah." So,
Because you needed a transmission from that car and put it in your car.
we took the whole transmission from that Magna out in the Pines. We picked it up, chucked it in the Lancer, and then drove it to Carlin's.
But I saw him like towing the whole thing. Like,
So he towed the whole car out of the Pines so that I could then start taking it apart.
Oh, okay.
And the videos on his account is absolutely amazing because it's just videos of him flipping the car. Yeah, so that's me there. Yeah, here we go. So the video next to it, but yeah. So
this is in Nangara.
This is in Wangara. So this is him towing the Magna.
Oh, just with like, sheesh.
Then the next video, this is where it flies past.
This one?
Yeah, that one is where it flies past me and almost fucking hits my Lancer.
The Magna! Holy fuck!
Oh, dude. And then that's us. So we were there for about 14 hours.
14
We were
hours.
there for about 14
Jeez,
hours.
man.
And then there's a photo, I think pretty sure right next to that, of me standing on the Magna. No, it should be the next one. Actually, no, this is me. This is me smacking the radio. Yeah, there we go. That's when we got the transmission out. I'm pretty certain we were there for 14 hours. I don't quite remember how. Yeah, that's me bashing in the radio. They get to then Megan and Steve are laughing at me.
So you had to like bash the car to get the
car was
out.
mounted. The car was absolutely destroyed. However, the transmission, from what I know now, is in great condition. On my Instagram, there's photos of when we put the Magnus transmission into the boot of the Lancer. I then drove the Lancer with the clutch slipping going uphill because the clutch was broken, or worn out, and the transmission's not light. So that was fun. Got it to Carlin's, and my mate Nick and Azana were there. And they sort of helped me there as like support, and we got the transmission out. And on my Instagram, there's a bunch of photos. It's insane.
Yeah,
we got the transmission out, and I installed the new one. However, obviously, I was never always into cars. Doing that transmission swap myself was very I wouldn't say stressful, but it was very just having the.
I don't know. It would have been like 14 hours in the Pines, and then
and then actually doing the transmission swap. It was very. I'm on my lonesome here. I had to figure out how to actually.
Tough.
Yeah, getting the drive axles out was the hardest part because I have no idea what I'm doing. No idea. I've never even touched the transmission in my life. So I had to look up how to actually take the drive axles out. And then I got those out, and I'm surprised I didn't break. Actually, I have a scar. Actually, I can't, it's under my jumper, but there's a scar sort of like along here. That is from
like what kept you going? Because I feel like with your sort of mindset, you're into very like
I'll do it.
Trial and error. You like really dive into these customization, these like creative projects with your cars.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's sort of the same with my photography. If I have a vision, like I'm just going to do whatever it takes to do it. Is that the same with you?
That is exactly the same.
So that's what kept you going.
The only thing that kept me going, even mentally, because I was quite depressed at that time because I was like, oh shit, living in my car, because I was living in my car for a few months because I couldn't get home because I couldn't afford it because home was so far away from work. So yeah, like the only thing that really kept me going was just, I want to do this. I want to do these things to my cars. And like when I bought the Lancer, the first thing I did was cut the muffler off, of course. But just anything that came to mind, I wanted to do it. Just it kept me going mentally.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And I mean, look, I'm still here. I'm happy.
You made it.
I made it. I kept going, and I'm quite content. Yeah.
I think it's the same with me. Like each creative project just gives me a new vision, a new direction to do, and I just when I have that vision, I just go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great what we can think of and do.
And what do you have any plans or visions for your your cars? Like at the moment, I mean, even if you can't necessarily drive them at the moment,
I
like
do.
What plans do you have?
I do have a lot of plans. So the Lancer is broken and sitting on a farm. But I do have it. It is still regoed. But I actually was given an Evo 8 Turbo from a friend of mine, and it's in pretty good condition. There's very minimal wobble on the actual turbine itself. And I just want to build up the Lancer to just be, because it looks like shit. The panels are bashed in, the bonnet's smashed in.
I know you've put like lights,
so
huge bright ass lights on it.
To get the lights actually mounted flat on the bonnet of the Lancer, I had a hammer, just started bashing in, just absolutely just started going ham on the actual bonnet just to flatten it. And but in terms of projects for the actual cars themselves, so for the Magna, the transmission's definitely going. Engine is in perfect condition. I've never ever had a single problem with that engine. It is spectacular. It's never ever died on me ever. It's fantastic. Lancer, I could say other things, it definitely isn't as reliable. But the Magna, I really want to, as it's sitting on at our house right now, I really want to fix it and build it up mechanically. Actually make it a pretty good drivable car. Obviously, I'm not really someone who's too sort of, I'm going to make 450 horsepower out of some shitbox car. Not really into that. I mean, I really want to put a turbo onto my Lancer, which I know does require a lot of effort. It's not just slapping something on. I know that.
So maybe a turbo. And have you ever do you help other people with their creative car projects as well?
Oh, yeah. I've helped Carlin a bunch, Project FTO, and well, honestly, anyone that really needs help with their creative projects, they just message me.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
because you're working at JCar at the moment.
JCar, yeah,
and because you mentioned you got a lot of gear from JCar, so I guess you were going shopping there quite a bit, and then kind of seemed like a fitting place to work.
So I was shopping at JCar, Joondalup up for a very long time. My co-worker now, he told me I was a very annoying customer. Apparently I asked a bunch of questions, but apparently I was an annoying customer, but you know what, too bad. At least I bought shit. But I'd always go in with just really dumb ideas. And I would talk about these dumb ideas to the employees there. Like, I really want to do this. And then I would, buy all the things I needed to actually use. Then I'd do it.
Yeah.
And I just came to a frequent customer that I was like, hey, do you guys have any openings for positions here? They were like, yeah. Ellenbrook and Joondalup do. So then I applied for both and got the job at Joondalup. But, not Joondalup, at Ellenbrook. But I ended up working at Osborne Park. And now I work at O'Connor. And now I'm going full-time at Road Tech Marine.
Oh, O'Connor, that's near me.
Yeah. I'm actually going to O'Connor after this for work.
I'll probably see you because I gym next to that one.
Oh, what? You mean that building that Jay has?
Yeah.
No way. Yeah, we have so many really jacked up people, like walking in the J car. I'm like, the fuck are you doing here? This is like a nerd store.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing in here? It's like, oh, there's a gym like right in the same building. I'm like, no way, really? And that's how I knew there was a gym there. But yeah, no way. I didn't know that. That's sick.
And have you ever thought of like freelancing, like as a, don't know if you'd say a mechanic. I guess it's sort of like a mechanic, like a modifier. I don't know if you need qualifications for that.
So I have thought about it. definitely I've thought about it. The issue with that is a lot of my knowledge is very specific, meaning Japanese cars and import cars. Like I've worked on primarily Mitsubishi cars. I've worked on a few Skylines, but generally it's been primarily Mitsubishi cars. So if someone has a Mitsubishi car and they need help, I'm more inclined to help them, like Project FTO, and my friend Eric, and Nick, and basically anyone with a Mitsubishi car, I've helped out. But I have thought about doing freelance work, but I don't think I have. Well, personally, I wouldn't say I have enough knowledge to be able to actually do something like that. If it was for a good friend, then yeah, I'd be down entirely. But I wouldn't
not professionally.
I wouldn't trust my work on someone's car, but I'd trust my own work on my own car.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
Mhm.
Because if something goes wrong,
yeah,
I know how to fix it. I guess.
I suppose that's why JCar's kind of the perfect place for you to work, because it's got all the equipment there. And
100%. Yeah.
you sort of have an understanding of how electronics work, and you've got IT background and also now cars as well. So
Like I've actually worked on mates' cars out the front of JCar stores.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Benji, for coming on.
Hell yeah.
Everybody check him out at his Instagram. I'll leave it in the description. And you might be able to see him out at car meetups at some point in the near future.
I just want to shout out real quick Ken's car mates. In terms of the whole car scene here in Perth, I feel like Uncle Ken is doing an absolutely amazing job at sort of...
Why is that? What makes his meetup like an ideal meetup?
Making it more personalised.
Yeah.
Like rather than just being like, oh, this is just some shitty car mate. No, he actually puts effort. He has speeches at his car mates.
Oh, cool.
Like he actually talks about stuff, and his job is marketing. So he's very skillful in actually marketing stuff like that. But yeah, I just want to.
And it's more like, would you say it's a more sustainable meetup? Because I see meetups and they're more
100%.
like loose, and then they're like sort of encourage reckless driving, blah, blah, which makes meetups get like cancelled or the cops come or whatever.
That's the con.
Then there's
That's
meetups that are
thing.
more sustainable, and they don't really encourage that behavior. They just encourage the bringing your cars in, the community aspect, the social aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. Ken is absolutely fantastic in sort of encapsulating specifically.
That's
the
all,
good
and that's
sides.
good to see. I think we need more of those sort of
100%.
meetups.
Yeah.
Because
No.
I don't think anyone wants to see these meetups being cancelled.
Sadly, Uncle Ken has had a few people doing dumb shit at his car mates, but that's out of his control. That comes down to the individual doing that, nothing to do with him. But in terms of him actually organising meets and making them feel more, what's the word? Professional.
Yeah.
He makes them feel more professional, not just some 17-year-old with a Commodore who's just be like, oh, I want to host a car mate.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's host a car mate. Hell yeah.
Because, I think car meets are one of the funnest things you can do in Perth. Like, I'd imagine if someone was to come here from another country and just like come here, experience the cars, like go for a drive, like meet people, I think it's one of the best ways.
Funny you mentioned that. Well, someone who's currently moving over to Perth from New Zealand actually found your YouTube video and looked me up and DM'd me on Instagram saying, hey, I found you on this YouTube channel, being your YouTube channel, and saying, hey, how's the car scene? I'm like, no shit.
Cool.
No way. What a small world.
Yeah, so it's a way of people can connect. Doesn't matter where you're from. If you got the passion for cars and creativity within the car scene and love for community, then it's like there's always a place for someone to hang out.
Oh yeah, the car scene's like family. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Cool. Well, thanks